So I would, if you take a look here, these are the top 10 power conference universities by academic ranking. And this is averaging the Wall Street Journal Times ranking and the U.S. News ranking, which are the two biggest. The Big Ten is making academic moves. It's no secret that they have number 3 and number 6. Well, there's 3 number 6s. They just added number 5 USC and number 6 UCLA. They're after that other number 6 Notre Dame. I mean, number 1 is just sort of sitting there, and again, would be a very, very advantageous move to the Big Ten for them to add our 2 San Francisco nemesis. And I know you can all tell me what the Fox guy told John Canzano or whatever, but if you're going to ask me, thinking like any university president in the country, with maybe 2 exceptions, they would all leave their job tomorrow to be president of Stanford or chancellor at Cal. All of them. So it would not surprise me in the least if you saw somehow Stanford and Cal end up at the party. It might be a late admission. It might be a +1. They might sneak through the window. Who knows? But don't be surprised if they end up at the party, I think.
And what kind of timetable would you assign to that?
That's a real good question. I think it would have to depend on Notre Dame. I think it would be with Notre Dame, because I honestly think that Notre Dame will end up at the party as well. Whether that's a year or 2 or whatever. I think that they will also, they're probably a little more noble than we are. They're going to keep the Pac-12 alive. They're going to, resuscitate it a little bit before they go. We just kind of pieced out. There was again, this is a little bit of what happened in 1957, sort of redux again, where Cal was the one who brought everyone together. And so it wouldn't surprise me at all if Cal did a little bit of healing there too. But if you take a look at the metrics of the Big Ten, like the what value we bring to it, thinking about that, and I put Notre Dame in here too, because I think they will probably end up with us. If not, it's a good reference point. So this is looking at the 3 different metrics that university administrators look at when they look at conference alignment. And the Big Ten talked about, I think the Big Ten divides it into 4, but it's the same stuff. They look at institution, academic, and resources. They look at the market, and they look at athletics and football. And they also look at culture and values alignment as well, which we are very aligned with the Big Ten in. The Pac-12 and the Big Ten are pretty much in lockstep in a lot of that. And I mean, when you guys can see this, it sort of ranges. Green is the best in the conference. Red is the worst in the conference. Again, that is just for the conference. So every school in the Big Ten is a good school. And you see, I mean, USC and UCLA, along with Michigan, are on the edge. So we are bringing enormous value to the Big Ten. And why they wanted it. I mean, to get their hands into UCLA and USC academically is a dream for them, which is why I think, don't count out Stanford and Cal quite yet. You also have, enormously intertwined relationships. Dr. Johnson from Ohio State plays a 3-sport athlete from Stanford. Another reason I don't think we should count out Stanford yet, although she was a little cold in the interview and called out on that. Dr. Folt from USC did her freshman year at Ohio State. Mike Bone is tied into Ohio State. Martin Jarman is one of Gene Smith's proteges at Ohio State. So you have a lot of those connections. I mean, they're connected through the AAU. The AAU president emeritus is back as acting president of Michigan. The brand new Wisconsin chancellor was the UCLA law dean until a week ago. I mean, she may have been in Westwood when she voted to let us in. Very possible she's sitting next to Gene Block when she did it still. I don't even know if she's officially started. But you have all those different connections, and it is part of why they're really intertwined. And when you take a look here, the Pac, I call it the Pac-5, but it's the AAU, the first Big 5. Especially look how they fit in. You see massive alignment with those groups, and we hear rumors that Stanford has said we want in the club, we don't care about the money. I don't know if that's true or not, but USC needs the money. UCLA needs the money. We need the money for investment, and we're getting it, but we're bringing a lot to it. I mean, you take a look at whether it's the Olympic medals. I mean, look down in the corner of the Olympic medals for USC and UCLA and Stanford. I mean, it just dwarfs anybody. The rest of the national championships, all that, the Rose Bowls. We 46 Rose Bowls, I think it is, between USC and UCLA. So it's just unmatched, and it's a perfect fit for the Big Ten. But it's also, and people underestimate this, it's a good fit culturally. The Big Ten and the Pac-12 are aligned. So these are just, for example, the Pac-12. These are from last month's. The Pac-12's pride posts mixed with the Big Ten's United as One pride logo that they've been using. So I mean, this stuff, these schools are aligned in this. Sustainability. Those are issues that really matter to anybody who's from the SEC or Big 12 or Big 12 are right now like rage tweeting at me about like sustainability doesn't matter. It's football and Baylor basketball. No, guys, this matters to university executives. This stuff matters, and it matters a lot. As well as one of the interesting things is the Big Ten is the most successful of the conferences. The Big Ten is the only conference run majority by women. And the funny thing enough, UCLA's Chancellor Block has been there for about 25 years now or something. I think 20 years. But actually, a bunch of the female CEOs of other schools are all like promoted and stolen from UCLA as well, and from Stanford. So we are really in alignment with these folks. In fact, actually, I've done some research, and I'm going to put out a new index called the Pow-Her Index this fall. If you want to win football games, you should get a female boss. Is one of the paths actually to victory, and I think we show that as well as anybody in the turnaround of our athletic department.